Last couple shows, I noticed that it actually did go live streaming when I talk randomly now before the show. So I guess hello everybody. The password is 12345. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, Dee's going to tell you who's allowed to be here. Go for it.
What's going on, everybody? This show is for educational and entertainment purposes only. You have to be 21 and over to be here. If not, you have to get the flying flock out. Back to you, Fumidoro.
It's precisely the way. And once again, I'm logged in as Fumidor and the flavors and not Fumidoro, so I'll have to change that momentarily. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, welcome. We are still here. Was thinking about kind of cutting the Wednesday show for good for a minute there. We're going to keep it going. We are going to change directions in the very near future. It's going to take me a minute to get there. So for the moment, we're basically going to tread water, I guess. We're going to continue the discussion. Cheers, Aseni, or Iceni. Fuck, I sin I. Motherfucker, we just corrected this the other day and now I'm getting it wrong again. What was
Ice
it,
and
D?
I. You're
I
right.
sin I, there we
Ice
go.
and I. What's going
Very
on, Ice? On
counterintuitive, I would
Ice.
say.
Ice,
So
call him Ice.
anyway, my name is Bond, counterintuitive Bond. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to change directions slightly, but like I said, for the moment, we're going to keep it pretty much the same as it is. So I am going to basically kind of stop saying, "Hey, whoever wants to hop on here." At this point, I kind of feel like how do I put this? I kind of overplayed that welcoming hand or whatever. I don't know. I had a different impression of the cannabis world than the reality actually that exists. So it's going to be a little bit more invite only, ladies and gentlemen. So in the future, it is going to be invite only, but in the future, not kind of to spoil any surprises. I'm still kind of working on it. We are gonna, I'm gonna allow basically people who have questions, stuff like that. People want to show off their garden directly, something like that, a specific thing basically. But no more hop on here to join the cafe. It's no longer a cafe, ladies and gentlemen. I don't know what it is anymore, but it's no longer open to the public, I guess you could say. So I don't know. I kind of had a realization the other day that cannabis is basically no different than anything else. I mean, I guess I've known that. That's one of those things you have to kind of remind yourself, I suppose. But it's a lot like a lot of other interests and hobbies in terms of the people that are in it. And a lot of the people that are in any interest or hobby are perfectly fine, normal people. They're just into kayaking or fucking camping or I don't know, pick an interest, right? Basket weaving. I give a shit, whatever it is. But I vividly remember going out for a drink one time with a friend, and she was telling me all about her crochet club and how crazy the drama had been. She and her friends had been able to reel it in through actually comically extreme measures. It was really a funny story, worthy of a movie, to be honest. But she was telling me about these poisonous people in her. It wasn't exactly crochet, but whatever, weaving, whatever the fuck. It's not really that important right now, right? A needle point or something. Needle point maybe was the correct description of it. Point is, it's yarn, knitting. You'd assume it's for relaxation. Everyone's chilled out like a fucking Buddhist monk. No, actually, as it turns out, even Buddhist monks have their assholes, right? So, ladies and gentlemen, it turns out that there's a lot of fuckwits in cannabis, and you just kind of have to deal with it. There's a lot of fuckwits in photography. There's a lot of fuckwits in the art world. There's a lot, basically anywhere you go. Audiophile. Hey, don't chew on my fucking shoe, dude. What's the deal? Puppy's all of a sudden like, no, I'm gonna be nuts now. Anyway, fuck was I saying?
What?
Hey. Normally he's a really good boy, but today he's just like, "Rah, rah, 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 I will be chaos incarnate."
Naughty.
This morning he chewed on an extension cord and fucked up the extension cord.
Uh-oh.
Little fucker. Yeah, I
Was
was
it
like,
plugged in?
that's bad because like the fucking thing could have been plugged in, so that would have been
Yeah.
end of puppy. So yeah, he can't do that shit. But they say that puppies explore the world with their mouths, which is obviously true if you have a puppy, but that's basically their first line of contact with anything. So you have to kind of just deal with the land shark phase. Anyway, fuck was I trying? Tigro was saying, perfect timing. I needed a break. That's the idea, Tigro. This high noon, basically right in the middle of the day, to take a break, check in with friends, discuss hopefully some interesting ideas. That's kind of the idea. So we are going to change directions in the future, like I said, to more of a, I want to say idea-based show. We're going to have, I think, a little bit tighter discussions. And hopefully you guys will be along for the ride. If you're not, well, too bad, because I'm not just going to continue the direction it was on. So for the moment, you guys are welcome on the show. For this week, perhaps also next week. We'll see how long it's going to take me to transition this show. Thankfully, the Tuesday show was a little bit easier. I got a couple guests right away, so that was super sweet. But the way that I want to do the Wednesday show is going to take a little time to figure out exactly. So bear with me, ladies and gentlemen. Hopefully, it'll be lots of fun for everybody. But in the meantime, I'm going to post a link. You guys are welcome to hop on here. If nobody hops on in the next joint in the dabs time. I don't have all that much weed in front of me right now, but I do still have, I've been saving it basically for the shows. I have a little bit of my Sour Morgana indoor. I smoked the last of my outdoor
Nice.
yesterday. I think I'm out. I think I'm tapped. I have a little, I have some kind of swaggy weed in the living room. I have this absolute fucking boof jar right here that I'm not sure that I want to even sift through. So basically, my only options for a joint are the Sour Morgana. I think that's it. Empty jars as far as I go. It's desperate
Or
times, ladies
jar
and
of
gentlemen.
air.
It's desperate times these days. Hopefully the fucking little harvest that's coming will come soon. We'll see here. But anyway, fuck was I talking about? Yeah, we're going to be here for a little bit. We're not going to waste the whole hour here, ladies and gentlemen. This is not a community center. This is not your hangout spot du jour or whatever. This is meant to be a productive discussion. So even though I say, hey, come in, check what condition your condition is in, get high and all that kind of stuff, we are productive stoners, ladies and gentlemen. So we're not going to engage in monotony and mediocrity. So anyway,
Hey,
ladies and gentlemen, let me. I think I'm going to take a dab first because. The F not. And we'll say hello to D, and then we'll see where we go from there. Go for it, D.
what's going on, everybody? Hola, bonjour, um, namaste, ram ram dosto, salam alaikum, wherever you're from, maybe watching from. Hope everyone's having a great day. Thanks for tuning in, to the safety meeting. Hello, everybody in chat. We have, oh shoot, I just screwed my computer up. Oh, there we go. Couple people in the chat hanging out. 10 people watching right now. Cheers to all you lurkers in the background, doing a dab, smoking a bowl, rolling a joint, maybe gardening. I'm smoking on
What if they're
Gary
boofing it?
Payton.
We never really say anything about that. I
Oh,
mean, that's fine too.
they can keep that to themselves. By the way, top chat, live chat, people that uh are in top chat smoke booth. I heard. I'm smoking on Gary Payton, and I'm also got some. Oh, I have cereal milk. I always forget. And I got a bit of this hash left somewhere, Grey Goose hash, which I lost and I found. But and someone actually, I posted it on Instagram, and someone said I should air tag it next time. That's actually a funny idea. Use one of those air tags. Cheers, Diggler, W Diggler, ICI, ICI, Ty, Justin Bean in the chat. What's
Cheers,
going on,
folks.
everybody? Old fashioned coffee pot always. How do you do, fellow boopers? No, 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 no. No booping here. Exit only. Lurking and okay, that's too much information, Ice. Lurking and jerking. Hope everyone's having a great day. What's everyone in chat smoking on? Let us know. I'm gonna roll up some extra right now. I got some extra cannabis just laying on my table here. Uh-oh. What happened to the live? Oh, there we go. And we're back. Yeah, man. Hop on and come hang out with us for the next little while.
That was a perfect dab.
Right on. Here's Pip Jam. A Star Dog. I like Star Dog. That's a good one. Hey, Skunk Glassworks. What's going on? That's awesome. I like Star Dog. That's a great one. There's another one I really like. Mango Tree Hash. Ooh, W Digger. That's awesome. Yeah, I got some hash here somewhere too. Not air tags. Let's make sure. Oh, oh, is that? Wait, well, that must be all I have left. Oh shit, I got some. All right, yeah, I got some hash in this jar here, and then I got some awesome hash right here. Oh, wrong jar. Hold on. Yeah, here it is. Right here in this jar. Whew, I got some awesome Sea Lago the Bat hash.
That's the good stuff right there.
Bred seed, seeds bred by Fumadoro
Yeah, man.
and grew by
From
Poor
the
Pizza
old
Day,
Bedrock Boogie from North Star, actually.
and processed by Poor Pizza Dave.
Oh, that's
Oh
cool.
no, sorry. This is actually I'm
Or
wrong.
was it
This
Four
isn't Poor
Plants?
Pizza Dave. This is some. No, it is Poor Pizza Dave. I'm right.
That's cool.
This is
Hmm.
from like 2 years ago. This is two
No
years
shit.
pure. Yeah.
Is it still,
Look at
is
lo-
it a true temple ball? Like when you kind of dig into it, is it still blonde on the inside?
uh, I don't know. It's been
Or
a
how do you
while.
smoke it? Like when you smoke it, how do you smoke it?
In a pipe.
But do you, I don't
In a
know, do you
pipe.
rip a piece off, or what do you do?
Yeah, yeah. I just laid it up, and then there's a groove. Hold on, here. Let me turn this off, and you can
Oh,
see.
I see what you do. Gotcha.
There we go. There's like a groove in it, so I like the little groove. That's where I started, and when I got it to go like that, and I wipe my finger, and there's like a whole bunch of hash comes off onto it, my finger, so I just use that. And this smells minty, fumey, and Mrs. D said something else too. I can't remember what she said now when she smelled this.
Splendiferous.
It's really good.
Best smell
I
that
like
I've
it.
ever smelled in my life. I mean, ironically,
Rainbow
actually,
Bell.
that probably is, right? Like when you think about it, probably just about any smell, probably not every smell, but you know what I mean? Like any kind of positive smell, there's probably somebody out there who's like, fuck, that's the best smell I've ever smelled in my life.
Yeah, man. I like that smell. It's really good. I'm
It's
trying to
not,
keep it for
go ahead.
I'm trying to keep it for 3 years, but I'm having a
Huh?
hard time.
Um, oh, I haven't watched Hash Church for a long time now. I need to start tuning in again. I used to really enjoy hearing Bubble Man's updates on his like old ass hash. He used to have
Yeah.
all this. He probably still has a bunch of little slabs of. It wasn't even temple walls or anything. It wasn't even pressed hash. It was just literally heads. It was
Hmm.
yeah, it was just a dry sift and washed heads, and they would congeal into a little slab, basically. It looked a lot like a BHO slab in some cases, but they would age over time. And one of them, he had this super old one that was like red. It looked like a ruby, basically. It was really killer, and it was
Right
super,
on.
super hard. So you'd have to like rip a piece off. But when you look at it under I don't remember if he ever looked at it under the microscope. I think he might have, but he definitely looked at it under super macro lenses, and you could still see all the heads basically just kind of melted together. It was really charming. Anyway,
Well, that's cool.
yeah.
Right on. Yeah, I haven't watched Bubble Man in a long time, and I haven't caught. I have to catch up with Remo. I haven't watched Urban
That's
Remo in a
another
very
channel I
long
don't watch
time.
anymore. Goodness gracious. I don't even see him in my, oh, you know what? All these social fucking media networks, including YouTube, they see themselves as a social media network. They mess with your sub feed. I was like, I haven't seen him in the subscription feed for a long time, but I haven't seen a lot of people in my subscription feed. They kind of mess with your
Hmm.
subscriptions. So I'm like, oh, I haven't seen him for a long time. I bet he's still doing his smoke reports with his son. Those are always fun.
Yeah.
Indeed. His son says indeed a little bit too much. Indeed. Who said indeed in was it fucking oh, it was Teal'c in Stargate. Indeed. He must be a fan of
Time
Teal'c. Piptan
to smoke
spoken
another
Rainbow
joint.
Belts. That's a good one. What's that, Eddie?
Time to smoke another joint.
Oh, right on. In
I
fact, it
don't
is time
hear
to
the
smoke
bell.
another joint. I guess I've decided that the only available weed I have in front of me is that Sour Morgana Indoor. So let's see how much of it I have. Folks, the clock is ticking a little bit. I did mention that we're not going to be here forever if nobody hops on here. So we're maybe going to smoke a joint or something and then take off. If we leave early enough, I have some errands I might actually do. So fuck it. I even have even more incentive to bounce, ladies and gentlemen.
Right
So I
on.
dare you. I double dog dare you.
Last year's last night's show went pretty long.
It's true.
Did you see that?
It's true.
Went
About
like
7 hours and
yeah, Bud and
it was mostly just Bud and
and
Captain. I think I tuned in. I don't know. I fell asleep on the couch with him, and I
then
was like, 2 or 3
hardcore at
o'clock
the
in the
end.
morning. I was like, oh, I wonder if they're still on. And I turned it on. Sure enough, Bud and fucking Captain was 3 sheets in the wind. He was high as fucking
Not so
how do they
well.
put it? High as giraffe tits. God, this is so frosty. I wish I'd taken a little bit more pictures of this. So this is that Sour Morgana 3, right? The 3, not the 4. Yes, the 3 indoor. How will this look if I show this? I mean, it's very poorly trimmed. But anyway, at least you can see how. Basically, it looks, to be perfectly honest with you, I remember noticing that it has a very similar structure to this girl.
Right
This
now.
is the old Morgana 6, in fact. That was Morgana number 6. That was for the longest time my favorite of the original Morganas that I ran. Technically, they were the Morgana prototypes. That was 5 years ago or something. Five, maybe not 6 years ago, 5 years ago, I think. Um, anyway, a while ago, in dog years, even longer. Anyway, she was by far of my favorite keepers. Basically, I had this like a bevy of keepers, and they were all so different that I was like, I can't sacrifice my. Stop chewing on the chair. Stop chewing on the chair, buddy. You're in a fucking chewing mood today. So what was I gonna say? He's got all these fucking toys around, but he's gonna chew on my fucking chair. Anyway, so this one I ended up not keeping it, even though it was basically my favorite. But I realized that according to my own rules, I couldn't keep it because it had an absolutely mar. Oh, thank you for showing it, D. It had a marvelous, marvelous aroma. Several people I smoked it with were like, how did they put it? One person, it was the funniest fucking shit. She said, uh, "This is decadent as fuck." She said something like that. It was like,
Cheers,
it was,
everybody.
yeah, it was either decadent as fuck or it was, this is, fuck, how does she say it? Motherfucker. Anyway, it was like some white glove tea time with the Queen, basically. It had this marvelous aroma, this very, very unique what did I just say? Not jasmine. Oh gosh, I even forget the flower that I just was even thinking about. Anyway, a very, very aromatic, but like a high-end flower. I don't know. I can't think of the fucking flower now for some reason. I literally just said it. Now it just vapidly flushed out of my mind. Anyway, regardless, there was this overwhelming note of this particular gardenia. There we go, gardenia. And then, of course, it had chocolate and fucking, earthy notes in the bottom and spicy pepper and everything, just like all the Morganas. But this pronounced gardenia, very, very, very pronounced. Anyway, she was also the smallest and finnickest of the bunch, basically. I had a couple that were fucking monstrosities. I had a few, for example, the sour Morgana was this just nutty sour plant. And even, although I considered the sour to be one of the weaker kind of keepers, she was still a lot bigger, a lot more productive, a lot more everything than this one, a lot easier to clone, everything. Anyway, this is very different than that. She doesn't have that gardenia note anyway, but she has this pronounced chocolate note, which deeply reminds me of her grandma or great grandma. I need to figure out exactly what. Could you please stop scratching the fucking chair? I just constantly feel this scrape, scrape, scrape. Like I'm gonna put you in the bedroom, dude. It's getting to me. It's getting to me. You have toys all over the place. Anyway, so there's a scrape, scrape, scrape. It's like, what is this fucking monster on the wall? Anyway, but it has this very similar structure to the original. Again, my apologies. This is literally the last knock. Dude, I literally just told you to stop fucking scraping, please. Anyway, it's the 5-month-old puppy. I'm not talking to myself. Anyway, whatever. Again, I'm showing you what looks like visible trash. You're like, why are you showing that shitty Nug humidor? It's just because it's the last Nug. I'm like, ah, fuck, it's the last one, man. It's so frosty. Anyway, you'll see her again. I still have her in the garage. Thinking about whether to flower her right now or maybe run her outside. I really want to run the sour, her sister, basically, number 4, outside. And I'm still like, do I want to run both? That seems a little bit idiotic on some level, but at the same time, I'm like, fuck, it's my favorite flower, basically. So maybe I will run both of them. Um, anyway, we'll see. We'll decide soon. This one is this very much cuvee leaner. There might be. spliff worth if I really grind up these fucking frosty leaves. Oh, it's desperate times here, ladies and gentlemen. Anyway,
That
fuck
sucks,
was I
dude.
trying to say? What's that, D?
That sucks. I wonder
Yeah.
what that's like.
I hate buying weed. I know you're always about buying the delivery weed, but I can't stand buying weed. I'm like, I can grow this shit, right? So hopefully it'll grow a little faster. Anyway, this is this dominantly chocolate tasting phenotype, and her sister, the four, is how do I put this? And by the way, these are both sour Morgana. They're sour Morgana seeds that I popped. The so I was surprised, as you can imagine, to find that kind of not sour. It still has a little bit of the sour cherry in it in the background, the three, but it's predominantly that kind of sweet chocolate. Anyway, but the four is a lot more sour. But candidly, it's a little bit more towards the no, not bitter, herbal. Maybe herbal instead of sour. It's more like herbal. I don't know. It's a little bit difficult to describe. I guess I haven't had any for a little while, so as soon as I have some more, I'm going to be happy to describe it again. But ladies and gentlemen, I'm really, really proud of that number four. Hope you guys are going to see it soon. I'm going to try, honestly, I don't know which one's going to be first, but I'm going to try to feminize both of these, actually. I really like them so much. They're both really aggressive growers, really productive, and they have such amazing phenotypes. And they are, in my opinion, the strongest shit I have. I guess I didn't mention that before. By far, I get the most high on these. And I have quite a, well, not now because I'm fucking out of weed, but I've had quite a number of very interesting things. So anyway, I'm hopeful to show you guys these guys in a lot more detail, and I hope you guys will enjoy the results. Doesn't seem like anyone's going to hop on here, so I guess I'll roll a smaller joint. That way we don't have to waste our time on here too much longer, right, D? Um,
Mhm. I think we're going for a walk after
are you?
our daily walk around
So
the block.
oh,
Yeah,
that sounds fun. What do you guys do for your daily walk? Damn, this shit is frosty.
just around the block, up around the block.
Always good for you. Who do you take? Do you take the puppy dogs or you take the kitty cats?
No, no, just us. We just walk.
Oh, right on.
Yeah, man. Just take the
Uh,
cat. That'd be pretty funny.
You'd be surprised how many people take cats on walks out here. I used to think it was all full of shit, but people have explained to me that actually, no, I mean, cats are outdoor creatures for the most part, and actually,
Hmm.
many of them enjoy it. I always thought the cats just are like, I don't know, a homing pigeon, which doesn't make any sense because a cat's not a pigeon, right? But I don't know. I just kind of assumed that they had their little territory and they
Have
didn't want to leave it. But evidently, sometimes it depends on the cat. Apparently, some cats really don't want to leave their territory, but some cats are super fine
have
with it. All right.
have you have you seen the ones go, getting pushed in a stroller?
Yeah.
The cats in a stroller. That's funny too. Like, oh man.
I feel like that's a little bit more for the owner than it is for the cat, but what do I know?
Yeah.
What do I know? Maybe the cat's having a good time.
Yeah,
And
man.
certainly, I've known people who had older dogs that took their dogs out on strollers, and
Hmm.
it's because the dogs just passionately loved walking. Like my dog's favorite thing in the world became walking. Basically, it's kind of funny when he was a puppy way back when he hated walking at first, but then it became his absolute favorite thing. And goodness gracious, he had hip problems and so on towards the end. He was still able to walk, but with difficulty. But gosh, it would have absolutely built him or got him in fact, I was thinking about getting him kind of like a, not a stroller, but like a cart basically. And I was just about to do it when his health kind of declined. But yeah, he would have passionately loved just seeing the neighborhood. Anyway,
Yeah, yeah.
that's understandable.
Right on.
But if it's like a 1-year-old kitten that can totally walk, I'm not sure if that's what the kitten
Yeah.
really wants. But hey, what do I know?
Mhm.
There's worse things in the world, candidly. It's a lot more. People get really angry about everything these days, and it's just like, dude, there's so much more things to get angry about. Like, fucking move on, man.
Mhm.
Oh, did you hear, D? Since literally no one else is fucking balls enough,
Thank
has
you.
balls enough to hop on here. Did you hear that RFK is going to start an autism registry in the U.S.?
Is what? I'm sorry.
He's
I got
starting.
Mrs.
He
D. Hold
start.
on.
Sorry.
All right, go for it,
Uh,
Jimmy. Sorry.
D's like, wait, sorry, Mrs. D's hacking up a lung. RFK Jr. So our health and humans. Do you know who RFK Jr. is?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
The guy who sounds like
Brain
he's
rot.
gargling gravel.
Idiot.
Anyway, yeah, he literally has a dead brain worm in his head. literally has a
Hmm.
dead brainworm in his head. Anyway, he is starting an autism registry in the U.S. At least he says he is. I mean, God forbid it's probably fucking illegal in 57 different ways. But he wants to start an autism registry that includes medical records, smartwatch data. What else? I can't even remember what else. Like several different things. They want to triangulate the fucking autistic community, basically. And of course, your first question is like, to what end, motherfucker? But anyway, he's really not a big fan of autistic people, I guess. Are you still there? Oh, did I lose internet? Or did RFK fucking censor me? Worst part is I can't tell if I'm online or not. Folks in the chat, am I lagging or is D lagging? Oh, it was D that was lagging probably. Well, ladies and gerbils, like I was saying earlier, we are actually technically in a transition period with this show. So, what was I going to say? Bear with us next week. Oh, here comes D
Hello?
again. I can hear you.
All right. So, yeah, I glitched apparently.
Mm.
So what was that about RFK? I'm sorry, buddy.
So, he's starting an autism registry. He's going
Right.
to be tracking autistic people around the country, basically.
Hmm. I don't know what to think about that. Did you see what I posted a while ago
I'm not
about
sure.
the idiot?
I
About
don't know.
him saying that how people with autism will never go on a date, never
Yeah,
get
yeah, he just said
married.
that a few days ago. Yeah, they apparently can't use the toilet, he was saying, and oh, and he's
Yeah, he's
never
a
seen
fucking idiot.
adult autistic people on and on. Like the guy is really special. Uh, Mind you, he has no medical experience. He's actually a lawyer. Uh, uh, hey, please stop chewing on that. Please stop chewing on that. Don't do that. Jesus fucking Christ. Oh, for fuck's sake, dude. Hold on. Hold on, guys. I'll be right
All
back.
right, all right, Fumi. I'll hold it down for a minute. Cheers, everybody in chat. Well, Fumidor takes care of his little puppy dog. What's going on? What's everybody smoking on in chat? Let's hear what you're smoking on. Cheers, everybody that recently joined. J. Patrick, Skunkid, uh, martial artist. What's going on? Are you really a martial artist? But yeah, this RFK guy can go fuck himself. He's a fucking piece of shit. That's what I have to think. Let me see if I can pull up quickly what I was talking
I
about.
tell you, I don't even
Oh,
have
Fumi.
any idea where he found it, but all of a sudden he finds a photograph of my grandfather that he's fucking chewing. How the fuck did he find a photo of my grandfather? Where? On the fucking floor in a box? I don't even understand. Did he teleport it from a fucking the other world? Like I don't have any photos of my grandfather, and he found the only one, and he's fucking chewing on it. How the fuck do
Oh
puppies do
wow,
this shit? Jesus Christ. Well,
that's
anyway, I guess I have
crazy.
a
You're
photo of my
lucky.
grandfather now with tooth marks in it. Anyway, anyway, what were we just talking about? We were talking about RFK's lunatic
Worm
shit.
brain.
Oh God, there's so much you could talk about with these guys. It's just kind of pointless almost. But anyway,
That's
yeah, he's
what he
trying to
said a
start an
couple of
autism
days ago.
registry. Long story short, anytime someone starts a registry of a certain kind of people, God, he looks like a catcher's mitt. Uh, Anytime someone starts a registry of a specific kind of people, you have to watch out because it's going to end up in some kind of eugenics. And people forget that eugenics actually came from the US. The Nazis were inspired. This is a factual statement. The Nazis were inspired by the American eugenics movement that has a very, very, very fraught history. And by the way, it wasn't just people assume now maybe that it's only the right wing that likes eugenics. No, way back when it was actually the right and left, arguably more the left. What was her name? Meredith Sanger. Mer I think her name was Meredith Sanger. She was super into eugenics. She was also an early progressive leader. So you always have to, first of all, I think it's best to march to the beat of your own drum, basically, rather than to follow other fucking leaders that blindly lead you down alleys. But even still, always pay attention to how your ideology once upon a time used to be, because sometimes the leaders of I'm putting this in a terrible way. The people that came up with your ideology oftentimes were terrible people, I guess is what I'm trying to say. Anyway, time to light this joint because I was saying we might get out of here soon.
Mm.
Anyway, ladies and gerbils, stay tuned. We'll probably still be here next week, but it looks like these shows are dead in a half. There's like, I don't know, 15 people watching. Hello. I mean, thank you guys for watching. But I don't know. I don't know if it's worth doing a show for that. We'll see. But we'll hang out for a little bit next week. Hopefully by the week after that, that's really what I'm shooting for, is when I really want to kind of relaunch the high noon safety meeting. We'll see. We'll see. It might take a little tiny bit longer. As I've said before, I have absolutely no help, ladies and gentlemen. There is nobody that has ever reliably helped me with guest booking or anything like that. So, folks,
Nobody.
yeah, nobody, literally nobody. Folks, if I can't find somebody, they don't get found. So if you could help, that would be spectacular. I've said this a million different times. If you guys want interesting shows, put a little bit of skin in the game and help me find some. I'm not asking you for fucking money. I'm not asking you for donations. I'm not asking you for kumbaya or whatever the fuck. Just literally asking you guys for both guest ideas, but
Man.
specifically if you have a connect with someone interesting, that would be far better than just an idea. Because you could say, oh, you should interview Ringo. Yes, I should interview Ringo. That would be a spectacularly interesting conversation. Not in the context of my show
No,
necessarily, but it
you
would be
shouldn't.
great. What, Ringo? You don't want to talk to Ringo?
Yeah, never mind. That's a whole nother thing.
What, you don't like the Beatles?
I love the Beatles. I just don't like Ringo.
Oh. Well, it's my show, so that really doesn't matter. But let's say if I were to talk to Ringo, ladies and gentlemen, what was I going to say? People are like, "Oh, you should talk to Ringo." That'd be wonderful. But I don't know Ringo. Nobody that knows Ringo knows me. There is literally an impermeable wall of people between me and Ringo that will never get crossed, basically, for me to actually be able to talk to him. So, in other words, what I'm trying to say is just giving me an idea for somebody is great. It is helpful, but it would be a lot more helpful if you guys know somebody, because I know a lot of our viewers have a friend who's a so-and-so who would be super interesting to talk to, or it's so-and-so who we've talked about before who's super interesting to talk about. You guys, you know who I'm talking about. Seriously, come on. So let me know, ladies and gentlemen. It would be super great to chat with some cool people both for the Tuesday and Wednesday show. The Saturday show, I'm still debating what to do. I might honestly just kind of keep it as sort of a friendly chat show, but even then, I want to reel it in because, again, D, no offense, but it does nothing to help me sell seeds. A lot of the times, it really does get to me, and I had to call a few of our guests out. People end up talking about genetics that are definitely not mine, and then going to the websites of those breeders and showing off their websites and talking about how great they're, and it's like, dude, it's on my fucking show. So it's like you're doing this shit for free, not on your channels, because those people don't have channels. Nobody would watch their channels. They do it on my channel and talk about other. So it's like it doesn't serve. It's not that I don't want people to talk about other breeders and stuff. That's not the idea. It's just like, dude, it's on my fucking channel. It's like it's in my house on my channel. I literally pay for the Zoom. I pay for all this stuff, right? So it's like for you guys to freeload and talk about other breeders and stuff, it doesn't serve my fucking interest, to be perfectly honest. So I'm trying to figure that part out. Once again, if you guys have suggestions, please do let me know because I know a lot of you guys really enjoy, especially the Saturday show. Obviously, Dee enjoys the Saturday show, but I know that we have a lot of regulars that really enjoy it, both in terms of panelists, guests, as well as, in fact, from now on, I think I'm going to call you guys guests because panelists misinterprets what you guys are, but also doesn't quite appreciate what you guys are. So it's an inaccurate assessment. So anyway, the guests on the show basically. Um, I even lost my train of thought just now. Motherfucker. Gigi is a guest. I don't know who Gigi is. Fuck, I lost my train of thought because I'm high already. I'm not that high.
Green
Maybe
Goddess.
I'm just, oh, Green Goddess would be fun.
Yeah, she's
Maybe
very
I'm
interesting,
just,
especially being a native. And she can talk about
oh,
a lot
sorry,
of
say it
the
again.
native. Fuck's
Oh, is
sake.
Green Goddess a
Hold on.
native? Native, I guess you'd say native Canadian. I almost said Native American. Uh, I had no idea.
Fine.
Wait, am I thinking of
Sorry,
the
it was
right
a,
people? Holy shit, I'm very confused now.
yeah,
Uh,
green goddess.
Green Goddess is the one that
Everything
works at the
green.
dispensary nearby to you, right? Okay, good.
Right.
Because there's also a breeder, also in that same chat. I guess I don't want to tell anyone who's in the chat or whatever on Instagram, but
Oh,
she's a
lost my
breeder,
audio.
Green Goddess Genetics or some fuck. Who am I talking about?
I'm not sure.
Oh, I swear you know who I'm talking about. If I could think of her name a little bit better, you'd know who I was talking about. Why can't I think of her fucking name? God, I hate when that happens. I wanted to connect with a like what do you even call this position? I guess I'm going stupid in my fucking old age. Uh, Not a weed broker. They're like dispensary rep. Dispensary rep. I think dispensary rep would probably be the best way to describe them. No, not dispensary rep. Like a grower, whatever, grower dispensary rep. I wanted to connect with this one person for something, and I cannot remember their fucking name on Instagram. And that's the only way I'm going to connect to this person because, like, I don't know their first name or anything. I don't know their phone number. I'm like, fuck, and I can't find their conversation on Instagram. I don't know. Maybe it was because sometimes conversations get lost. I was talking to Dee about this for one reason or another sometimes, but I cannot remember the fucking name. So it's like for $1 million, I'm not gonna find this person. I don't know, I need to ask ChatGPT for help or some shit. Jesus
I
Christ. Fucking
don't use
ridiculous.
Chat CPT. That's funny. I'm probably like the only person that don't use it now.
Uh
Crazy.
To be factually accurate, I don't use ChatGPT too much anymore. I use some of the other ones. I use Le Chat from France. Actually, that's the one I use the most, to be honest. Then I was using DeepSeek for a
Oh,
while because when it came out, people were talking about how great it was, and it just kind of amused me that China, despite being so uh, um, um, I can't think of any words anymore. Uh, Anyway, the U.S. and Western interests basically purposefully kind of tied one hand behind China's back, I guess is the expression I'm looking for. They still managed to, evidently, actually, now the fuckery comes out, evidently with Facebook's help, actually. So that's kind of under the table. But evidently, they came out with this amazing large language model, despite not having all the fucking stuff that ChatGPT and OpenAI had. Anyway, sure enough, it was really good, but I don't really want to help the Chinese, to be perfectly honest. So I'm like, oh shit, I'll just use the fucking French one. But anyway, and by the way, the French one is really, really good. And then there's
that's
also
right. Reason I'm
Claude.
done.
What is it? Full name I think is Context Claude or whatever. But anyways, Claude from Anthropic. That one's really good.
Oh, God. Right on.
But the reality is that they're only useful for some things. Like people really way overestimate. You keep hearing businesses way overestimate how good these agentic AI and everything is. Like, really, it just kind of regurgitates stuff that you find it. It's not the Star Trek computer yet. Like you wish it would be. Basically, I think a lot of us wish that it would be that kind of amazing Star Trek computer where you're like, please tell me about the history of this new planet or whatever. And then the computer knows everything about it and knows what you're going to ask next and stuff. No, it's not like that at all. And there are quite a few people who are saying that AI is actually um, topping out, basically, and it's essentially becoming infested with its own nonsense. Because at this point already, surprisingly, the internet is basically like half AI garbage. Because people don't realize we produce a gigantic amount of new data every year in terms of text messages and emails and just literally everything that we send each other. And every single year, it's something like 10 or 100 times more than the year before. It's always this crazy, I think it's this logarithmic scaling model. So that means that basically everything that was produced this year overwhelms everything that was produced last year, which overwhelms everything that was produced everything before that. So long story short, like half of what's been produced in the last couple of years is AI already, and sure enough, AI is already feeding on AI at this point. So it's starting to get kind of garbage.
True. I
What
don't.
does
Yeah.
martial artists say? Feel you feel me? There's a happy medium, give and take. You got to set up a tester group so you can showcase and spotlight your work more. 100%. Now that I'm a little bit more, well, a lot more stable in my life, because whatever, it's not worth going into the details, but a lot of people know what it's like to kind of relationships, marriages and stuff fall apart. Anyway, so it has been difficult, honestly, to maintain any kind of sense of stability. Been difficult to maintain the garden, been difficult to maintain my crops, right? That's basically why I keep running out of weed. So with any luck, that has changed. Hardcore uses Grok. I won't use Grok just because apparently Grok's actually all right, but I just won't use it because anything Elmo touches turns to shit, essentially. And I'm like, I just don't want to. I don't want to be one of those things that turns to shit, in some metaphorical sense. And I also don't want to help him. He's one of the world's foremost fuckbags. So I'm just like, fuck that guy with a stick. The fun thing about Grok is that it's so much less filtered because Elmo is so irresponsible. So you can get it to talk about. Apparently, it criticizes Elmo all the time. So you can actually who is the there was a question the other day. Who is the world's foremost spreader of misinformation? And it came out fucking Elmo. Anyway, but someone on Reddit was talking about that. But anyway, Justin Bean is analog. Brain Dead is saying, D, how it did.
Hello, brains dead.
Good to see you, Brain Dead. Long time no see. Um, But Marshall is saying, got to value the people that will take part in a tester showcase because the willing and dependable are few and far between. They are valuable. Give them a hand. Yes, indeed. I've been saying that for years. I just haven't had a chance to actually put my money where my mouth is, or I guess not really necessarily my money, but my practice where my mouth is. I think testers are invaluable. I thought this. I started out as a tester. I guess I don't talk about this a lot. I don't talk about this enough, maybe. But I started out as a tester first for a couple other different breeders. For example, Humboldt Seed Org. They're more in Europe now. They
Here.
literally packed up and went to Europe, but they were, in fact, they weren't related in any way to Humboldt Seed Company, but they were just similar in just a wide variety. It's a long story. It's a long, long, long story. They were different groups, but whatever. Anyway, they were the guys responsible for like the Amherst sour diesel and all that kind of stuff. Anyway, fuck am I trying to say? Tested for them for a while, tested for and for a few friends and stuff. And then I found Subcool. I actually don't remember how I found Subcool exactly. I think maybe just from the GrowTube Roundtable. I used to watch the GrowTube Roundtable religiously, and it was a fun group of friends and everything. And of course, some of the people that were on the GrowTube were more interesting than others, right? But still, it was a really, really, really fun show. And honestly, I wish it were still around. But one of my absolute favorite parts was just the interaction, basically, between Sub and Green Jeans and fucking Pedro and all those different people, right? And then, Ms. Jill would stop by for a little bit. And it was a lot of fun, honestly, right? Anyway, so I think I became enamored of Sub and probably just emailed him or something. And he sent me some fucking Banana Jack seeds that I had terrible germination rate. And I emailed him a really a nice letter about it. And he was so gracious. And he was like, "Oh, you sounds really sincere. Da 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 da. I'll send you some more seeds." And sure enough, we had a fairly productive few years. Unfortunately, in my opinion, he died far, far, far too young. But it is what it is. So, but I started out as a tester for him. And unfortunately, if he had not probably died quite so early, it's just one of those things. When people die, they have ripples in their lives. I would have gotten farther faster, basically, in breeding and all that kind of stuff. I was kind of we were about to work on a couple things. And, Sub was famous for ripping people off too from time to time. So that wasn't necessarily a rainbow to the future. You do always have to remember that. But I think what we were going to work on would have been legit. Anyway, it doesn't matter because it never happened, obviously. And then I made the decision at the time to just kind of go on my own. I probably should have at the time hitched my wagon to some other stars. I've thought about it a million different times now, but I probably should have, been because I could have been, someone's main tester basically. It would have been really, really easy at the time. Anyway, at the time, actually, that opened doors. Now, I don't know if that really opens doors for anybody, but at the time, it was actually a pretty big deal to be like a big breeder's kind of right-hand tester. But anyway, regardless, I went on my own, and for better or for worse, I've been doing it on my own now for the last few years. But it's always been my goal basically to get back basically into kind of Sub's model because I thought it was such a good model. Sub had a very devious way about him, right? He was definitely not an angel. And one of the interesting things about his tester model is that it was both good and profitable for him, right? It was I was talking about this yesterday. It was a very good way to run through phenotypes and see what's available in your lines without directly having to have the employees and manpower and fucking field space and everything else. But also, it's tremendous marketing. That's basically where the profitability comes from. Sub was a master marketer. He was basically the Steve Jobs of weed, I guess you could say. And having a bunch, 10, 15, 20, 30, 40, 50 testers posting beautiful, sometimes not beautiful, but still all the kind of photos of weed and let's be honest, even the kind of mediocre growers and noob growers still posted nice stuff, right? Because some stuff was easy to grow, it always grew well, on and on and on. Splendid marketing on Instagram, on all the different, before my time on Roll It Up and everything else. People are always talking about subcool strains and stuff. So anyway, I would very much like to get back into that testing model. It is difficult though, and that's one of the reasons why I talk about, I want my show to grow and everything else because candidly, I don't have enough people around me right now to have a big testing regime. I know that I could. Unfortunately, because of the instability in my life, I've asked for testers a handful of times now, and now I'm worried that maybe if I ask again, people will be like, "Oh, I don't know, I've been burned once," because Fumi didn't send out fucking tester seeds. But I'm hopeful maybe that at least if we could get a little bit more stable show going and so forth, then I can show my testers that actually I am serious, and then we could get back into really this week swing of things. You know what I mean? So. Anyway, we'll see. Hopefully, we can get back to that kind of stuff. It's gonna depend on, yeah, I don't know, putting in the work. You know what I mean? He did love the
Testing,
plant, that's for
testing.
sure, Digger. Yeah,
1, 2,
he was
3.
definitely an interesting guy. You can definitely say a lot of good and bad things about him because I think a lot of people don't know a lot of stuff behind the scenes about their heroes, which is probably a better thing in many cases. But Sub was definitely he was rough around the edges. Let's be perfectly frank. He might have been getting better with age, maybe, but of course, that happens to some people. But he definitely ripped off some of his fucking friends and partners and everything else over his life, and there's no excuse for that, really. But at the same time, what was he at heart? He was a weed nerd and all that kind of stuff, right? So if you judge him by that lens, you know, at least by the weed nerdity, I guess maybe he did no wrong, right? But everything else, that's up for debate. Interesting guy, we'll just say that. Should never worship anybody. That's what I always said. And again, that's easy for me because I'm not religious, but especially with mankind, you should never really worship anybody. Celebrities, your teachers, people to look up to. And you can look up to people, certainly. You have mentors and stuff, but when you start to worship somebody, you will very easily ignore their flaws and follow them down a crazy rabbit hole that you might not come back from.
Mm-hmm.
Just Bean says, I got some seeds test from a guy, and it was a month before I could work it in. Oh, that's pretty normal, Justin Bean. Breeders oftentimes, for example, Sub would oftentimes say this, hey, can you run this right away? And when he meant right away, he meant literally, can you pop them when you get them? But oftentimes it was, hey, when you get a chance. And a lot of breeders understand that. Basically, they want you to work it in the schedule. The frustrating thing for breeders becomes that the testers, in many cases, don't realize that there is actually a time crunch on this. And many testers have what I would consider good but completely wrong-headed intentions. Um, okay, now that I say this, people are going to say, oh, he was being mean to Eagle. I'm not trying to say that Eagle is wrong-headed. I'm trying to say that I disagree with Eagle's perspective on testing. Eagle has many, many times said that he thinks something should be tested for an entire year or more. You should run it for 4 or 5 crops. You should age it. You should do this. You should run it indoors. You should run it outdoors, on and on and on before you get any results. I actually can't disagree
Wow.
with him, right? So I can't disagree with him. In an ideal world, that actually would be what you want.
What's
Unfortunately,
about
nobody
testing?
in the weed world has time to do that, basically, for essentially anything. There are a few breeders who have built up their own following enough, I guess, well, for example, maybe Humboldt Seed Company by this point. Same thing, probably. freeborn. There's probably a handful of breeders out there who people would follow their lines just because they are an inbred line from them. But generally speaking, you'd have to keep that to yourself. You'd have to basically just keep that as a passion project. It wouldn't be anything that you could ever sell because people are predominantly interested in the dipshit names that you hear about. Whatever the fuck is popular now crosses something else. Generally, that's not the best breeding, but that is consistently what everybody fucking buys. And so basically, breeders find one way or another to cater to that market, whether they basically fucking, whatever. I guess it's a discussion for another day. But how do I put this? Like a 1 year testing program just doesn't work out, you know? So you really have to get things tested quickly so that you can move them out to the market, so that you can move on to something else, so that you can move on to something else. And then effectively you do keep those private lines to yourself basically because nobody has any use for them. For example, Ruby Jack and Black Prince Ruby and everything else, right?
Mm.
It's consistently the thing that I would like to be known for, but everybody talks about Morgana. It is what it is.
I like to think
One of these days, I'll convince you guys that Black Prince Ruby and all those lines are spectacular shit.
I like
Martial
talking
artist
about. Sorry, go ahead.
martial artist said the sub was lucky to have a tester like Eagle. Yeah, it's a lot to expect or hope for, but it's ideal. No, I disagree. I think sub would basically say the same thing. That was of no use for him, because hearing the results 8 months later, he's already released the line. At that point, it's a review, and basically it was free seats. So when you look at it from the perspective of the business owner, it's a useless result actually. So I disagree. Again, I disagree. Everyone is entitled to their opinion. I'm not saying that, Eagle is wrong or something, but I am saying actually that from my perspective, um, Eagle is not a breeder. Eagle's never really been known as a breeder. From my perspective, I agree with Sub. It's useless advice. Now, there are definitely things that I probably would want. So, for example, I'm debating whether or not to take that the line that Samuel Olson bred for me. Basically, the I haven't even named him the
Right on.
Coot Special uh, uh, Runts of Eden cross and the Coot Special Cookies crosses. I'm debating basically just kind of letting them go with the testers basically and actually seeing how they run down the line. That would be really useful information because we basically would be able to see the long-term results of the progeny over multiple generations in multiple gardens, maybe even bred together in multiple gardens. I don't think I can pull it off. I don't think it's actually going to happen because I would have to have a dedicated team of people. But I have debated doing it. It would be really interesting, but it wouldn't be something for commercial stuff, Like I have no idea how that would end up in a year. Like it might end up as fucking grass in a year, or it might end up as the dankest shit anyone's ever seen. We don't know. That's so many generations that we honestly have no idea. I would like to think that it would be dank shit, right? But without testing it, we wouldn't know, right? So, um, anyway,
Mm. I'm smoking cereal milk now, guys. What's
right
everyone in
on.
chat sticking on?
Still smoking on this. Somehow I made this joint last a long time. Ladies and gentlemen, we're
Nice.
going to bounce because I actually now probably don't have time to do the errands that I was going to do. We're not going to do this again, ladies and gentlemen. I can promise you, I can absolutely promise you, we are not going to have this two-person show again for Wednesday for an hour. We are going to bounce after 10 or 15 minutes in the future because I'm just not interested in doing these anymore. We'll see how it goes. I've talked about doing maybe coffee and cannabis mornings or something. We'll see how it goes. But yep, I'm not gonna have these open shows anymore because today was technically an open show, so nobody hopped on. I guess the door's closed, ladies and gentlemen. It's kind of sad, but it is what it is. So I guess you guys will go hop on the other channels, and that's fine. And this is going to be more of a interview show. We'll call it. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. And you know what? If it doesn't work out, I'm just gonna fucking cancel it because there's no sense in working on nonsense. So anyway, if you guys want to see a good show, it's in your interest, well, I think, to have a good show. Please let me know. Please give me some ideas, ladies and gentlemen. Please let me, excuse me, no. Please let me know some guest ideas. Would love to talk to, obviously, it goes without saying, breeders, growers, even dispensary owners. That would be fun too. What else? We've talked about edible companies. Distributors, honestly, we don't talk to enough about distributors. That's probably a fascinating facet or fascinating part that we don't even really know about. What else? Hemp people. We really don't talk enough about hemp. It would be certainly very interesting to talk to some hemp producers. Ladies and gentlemen, come on, give me some ideas. Help yourself have better content, and together we'll have some interesting shows. All right, I'm gonna relight this off the show. D, what do you think, my friend? Any final thoughts?
Thanks everybody for coming and hanging out. Thanks to the chatting. Cheers to all you lurkers out there. Thanks for tuning in. Not what I was gonna say, but yeah. Hope everyone got medicated on the safety meeting. And we'll catch you guys
Amen.
soon.
Cheers, D.
Yeah, and thanks
Thanks
to
for hopping on.
like always.
Right
Like
on.
always, Phoebe, thanks for putting this together, man. I do
Cheers.
appreciate you.
Thanks for hopping
A
on,
lot
D.
of us do.
Appreciate it. Right on. Ladies and gerbils, at least somebody appreciates you, right? Ladies and gentlemen, thanks very much for hopping by. Who's been in here? A bunch of different folks that I forgot to say hello to. Skunk Ape. Who else in here? I think I did say hello to Tigro. Digger, what's up, Digger? Good luck. Good time or good long time no see. Good to see you. That's what I'm trying to say. Jay Patrick in the house. Who else in here? I don't know if I said hello to Jones. Good to see you, buddy. Who else in here as well? Of course, martial artist, hardcore hanging. Uh, no, I missed somebody. I always
He's
miss
always
somebody
hanging
here.
to the left.
He is, we should ask him how he's hanging because he's always hanging. Oh, I might have gotten everybody. No, Pip Jam MBF didn't get him. Who else in here? I always miss somebody. There's always somebody sandwiched between somebody. Kind of hardcore's mom knows about that. Anyway, Joseph Anthony, good to see you, buddy. Cheers, cheers. And ladies and gerbils, stay tuned for the Wednesday show. We're going to be changing it up, like I said, hopefully for the better, at least for the more interesting. We'll put it that way. Western Main Man, good to see you, buddy. He says, just tune in. Hi and bye. Good to see you, buddy. Ladies and gerbils, so like I said, please do, what am I trying to say? Stay patient or something? No, not that. Whatever. Stay tuned. We'll just say that. We'll leave it at stay tuned, right? And hopefully you guys will enjoy the results. Hopefully we can pull them off, of course. Like I said, I'm kind of leading up to some other stuff that I hope to do as well. So hopefully all of that stuff works out because I think you guys would really enjoy it. Uh, I know I would enjoy it. I'm pretty sure I would enjoy it. So, ladies and gentlemen, hopefully we can make all this stuff work. The only thing standing between it and success really is ourselves. Essentially, it's a little bit of what North Star says every time he's here. So shout out to North Star, who's probably off vacationing or something. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, I guess I'm going to leave it at that. Let's see here. Next Tuesday, we're going to be talking to Flora Nugs, ladies and gentlemen. The Tuesday after that, looks like we're going to be talking to Bingus, so that's going to be a lot of fun. Mr. Published Weed Author Bingus, that's going to be fun indeed. He's certainly got an interesting life. Not that Flora doesn't have an interesting life. I realize that sound now that I was like negging Flora or something. That's not it at all. But ladies and gentlemen, two interesting Tuesday shows coming up for sure. D, what do you think about doing the show this Saturday? You're still interested?
Yeah, man, for
Right
sure.
on, right on. Sounds good.
Same bad
So,
time, same bad
same
channel,
bat
and
time, same bat channel. Like I said, we're gonna tighten it up a little tiny bit, ladies and gentlemen. I still haven't figured out how, but the point is really, I've tried to kind of leave my screen on, literally, like when I go do other stuff or go hang out with the dog or something in the living room, because I sometimes just, dude, I can't sit there for 5, 6 hours. What can I tell you? Every single fucking show. So, long story short, I'll leave my screen on sometimes just kind of thinking, hey, it's a little bit like advertising, you know what I mean? It's like the fucking advertising banners at the racetrack or something, like people mostly pay attention to the race cars, obviously, but as they pass by Pennzoil or something, it gets in their head, right? So I'm like, all right, at least people know that it's Fumador's fucking show, at least, rather than when it's just, hardcore and Bud or somebody people could tune by and not know who the fuck's channel it is, right? So I don't blame you when you talk about some other breeder. Oh, let's go buy some other's breeder. Let's all go buy his seeds right now, right? Like on my fucking show. But what am I trying to say? When I do that, in inevitably, like it's just, I don't know, dudes. I don't know. You guys are all such fucking stoners that inevitably 2 hours go by and I come back to my computer and there's three people trying to get back into the room and I'm the only person in the room. And the room is silent and everyone in the fucking chat is like, I don't know, is the show over? Because everybody fell out of the fucking room. Bud fell out of the room, hardcore, everybody fell out of the fucking room and they're all trying to get back. So I'm like, motherfucker, how do I solve this problem? I don't know, guys. I don't know because like when I leave it to you, it's not a solvable problem. It usually doesn't work out. We'll see. And then my point is, I can't be on here every single fucking minute telling you not to talk about other breeders or something because that's not the idea. The idea is to actually have a free-flowing, interesting, open conversation, right? But I'm not trying to fucking bang into your head. You must buy Fumidor either. But at the same time, like it's my fucking channel. You must buy Fumidor, right? That's the whole idea, right? So anyway, once again, if you have any ideas or suggestions, I'm all fucking ears, even though it looks like I have headphones on. But ladies and gentlemen, we'll leave it at that. Be kind, be decent, be gentle, be kind, be decent, be gentle. Don't be fucking pricks, dicks, or lunatics. See, it's been so long since I even said it. Ladies and gerbils, hope you guys puff something wonderful. And until we meet again, it'll probably be on Tuesday, it looks like. Cheers, Justin Bean, by the way. Good to see you. And until we meet again, don't forget to visit my website, ladies and gentlemen, fumidoro.com. I'm still leaving that two for sale on for now. I don't know. I was going to basically cut it on April 20th and then do a whole other thing, but whatever, like the last couple shows were all fucking farts in the wind, right? So anyway, we're still working on the two for sale, ladies and gentlemen. We'll leave it on for a few more days. Maybe we'll leave it for the end of the month or something. Why not, right? It doesn't hurt to leave it the whole month. So, ladies and gentlemen, Brains gets you 10% off and it's literally a two for coupon. I know it's confusing. I realize I probably should have specifically just created the two for coupon, but it's pretty fucking annoying. The website service wanted to charge me like it was 25 or $35 extra just to be able to do actual two for coupons. Fuck my ass. Like, no way. Uh, fuck was I gonna say? Dude, we could just use the other coupon to make it a twofer. Like, come on, seriously. Like, are you? We're all adults here, right? We checked at the beginning of the show. We're all adults. D made sure of it. I made sure of it. We're all adults here. We're not fucking children. We can pretend that a regular coupon is actually a two for coupon. No, wait, we can. It's not pretending because it's real. Oh, I don't know anymore. Whatever. Did we just prove magic is real? I hope so. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we'll leave it at that. Fumidoro.com. Try Sour Morgana. Try Surf Grape. Try not tangling up in the fucking Jesus H Christ. Puppies. I got to fucking puppy proof the entire house. What the fuck? And then ironically, he'll grow out of, by the time I puppy proof the house, he'll grow out of the fucking puppy craziness, probably. Oh my God. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, what's Joseph Anthony saying? Maybe send Bun Kilowatt some of your clones and he can show us the plan. 100%. I'm going to as soon as I can. I'm working on the clones right now, so hopefully I can send him the moment. I only really have the two Morganas, so that's about all I can send him. So in the future, I'll send him more, but I definitely want to send him those. Anyway, do I have anything else?
What's that?
Huh. No, not yet. I'm working on some other stuff, but at the moment, unfortunately, that's all I have.
Okay.
Cheers, buddy. Old school. Good to see you, my friend. Respect. Long time no see. Says yes. Top shelf strains, my friend. Fumidora are good. Thank you, buddy. My appreciation. Ladies and
Booty
gentlemen, what's that? D?
brain.
Brains is the coupon code. Ladies and gentlemen. Oh, and don't forget to let me know what you want because a couple people have not let me know, and I have to email them. Oh my God, it's fucking whole shenanigans. Farva, you say shenanigans one more time. Ladies and gentlemen, don't forget to let me know what you want with the twofer. Otherwise, I'll just send you a broom or something or chocolate or something. I don't know. All right, ladies and gentlemen, thanks very much for hanging. Until we meet again.